The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. Jesus took Peter, James, and John and led them up a high mountain apart by themselves. And he was transfigured before them, and his clothes became dazzling white, such as no fuller on earth could bleach them. Then Elijah appeared to them along with Moses, and they were conversing with Jesus. Then Peter said to Jesus in reply, "Rabbi, it is good that we are here. Let us make 3 tents, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." He hardly knew what to say. They were so terrified. Then a cloud came, casting a shadow over them. From the cloud came a voice, "This is my beloved Son. Listen to him." Suddenly, looking around, they no longer saw anyone but Jesus alone with them. As they were coming down from the mountain, he charged them not to relate what they had seen to anyone, except when the Son of Man had risen from the dead. So they kept the matter to themselves, questioning what rising from the dead meant. The Gospel of the Lord.
These combinations of writings, Old Testament from Paul and the Gospel, challenge me. They challenge me because they cause me to think about what I might be withholding from God. Jesus transfigures on the mountain. They get a glimpse of what the heavenly hosts will be like. They can't believe it. Peter says, "It's good to be here." He wants to build these altars, because it's something they've never experienced before. He got to see that. We haven't. But they tell the story. And then on the other side, here's Abraham, who's been asked by God to take his son up and sacrifice him. But the rest of the story, he doesn't know it when he gets that question asked of him. The rest of the story, when he's ready to do it, God stops him and says, "Hey, I figured out that you'll give up your son for me. I now know exactly what you will give up, what you will offer to me, your God." And when I think about that, I think about, God, is there something I'm holding on to? Is there something that you're asking of me that I'm unwilling to give? Is there some part of my life that I want to keep hidden from you that I'm unwilling to do? And there have been times in my life when I've been challenged with that. I'm challenged today with that. Is there something? One time was many years ago. I had gotten out of seminary. I was working at Catholic Charities, and when you're a seminarian, you don't make any money. When you work at Catholic Charities, you make very little, but it's more than no money. And that's when Craigslist was getting started. I started buying some guitars because I thought, well, this is great. I've got a couple of bucks, and these are worth it. I can actually sell them for more, make some profit. And through my prayer, I just felt I had too many guitars. God was asking me to sell my guitars, or some of them. I had 19 of them. How many can you play at once? Okay, so 19 is too many. So I started selling my guitars. And I made some profit, and I bought a new PA system because off the profit. God's provided for me through that. But then one day in adoration, he says, I want you to sell the guitar. Oh my God. You want me to sell the guitar? My guitar? The one that I treasure? The one that there's no way I want anyone else to ever touch? You want me to sell that guitar? Yeah, I'd like you to sell that guitar. You know, I struggled with that for about a week because I did not want to sell that guitar. It was hard to come by. I had looked for years to find it. Finally one day, okay, I'll sell it today. Went to Craigslist. Whew, it was stressful. I took pictures of the guitar, good pictures. I didn't put them out of focus so I didn't make it look bad. I described it like I did everything else that I sold on Craigslist, good description. I've got a marketing background, a sales background. I know what to put in to sell these things. Put it all on there. Gave it a good price. Didn't charge like 6 times as much so nobody would bid on it, And I sold lots of stuff on Craigslist. Not a single person contacted me. I had it on there for a month. God gave it back to me. But he wanted to give it to me rather than me possessing it. Does that make sense? Now, I struggle today. I've got a few more guitars again, sorry. He's not telling me to sell my guitars. But I struggle with my time. Sometimes I'm selfish with my time. Sometimes I don't want to take care of myself and I want to eat fried chicken 6 days a week, because I want to do it. Sometimes I struggle as your pastor to know what to do. And in fact, in this moment, as we're entering into strategic planning, this has been stressful for me. Because I have ideas what I want, and I want them to go my way. Do you understand it? We all want that, right? But I realize it's not my parish, it's your parish. It's your community. God's will be done in Bartlesville. So, what am I doing? Through the process, we're giving us all a chance to come and listen and hear and speak at these listening sessions, if you've got a letter or an email. You know why we're doing this? Because we want to give it to God and say, God, what do you want us to do? Because if it's up to me, this is my vision. And if I put yours with it, it might be a little bigger. And if I put yours, but by the time we're done, our vision is still this box. And God has this vision that we can't have. We don't have. We'll never have. And so we bring it to God and we say, God, what do you want? I offer it all to you. And that line from Paul, this is so good. If God is for us, who can be against us? He did not spare his son, but handed him over for us. How will he then give us everything along with him that we need? That's how we're to enter in every day. I fail at it so often. I have my ideas. I have my things that I want to get done today. You do the same. We're human, aren't we? This is our reality. But we're in Lent. God, what am I not giving up for Lent? What am I not giving to you for Lent so that you can give me back your love and your grace and your mercy? That should be our prayer. That should be our conversation. So that when it's time for us to go up that mountain, like Peter, James, and John did, and see Jesus in his beatific form in all his glory, he says, come on in, good and faithful servant. You have lived your life the way I created you to live it. Come and enjoy the blessings. That's why we're Christians. That's why we come to Mass. That's why we celebrate the sacraments. That's why we as a community pray, not only for our needs, but the needs of all of us. This is who we are as Catholics. It challenges me. It probably challenges you. May we accept the challenge. May we hear from God, and may we have the courage and strength to follow what He has for us individually, for our families, and for us as a community.